a portable heat pump that runs directly off a 48-volt lithium iron phosphate battery. Someone finally did it, and it's awesome. This heat pump unit is from CYBERTAKE, and they have done an outstanding job observing pretty much all the issues that other portable heat pumps have and fixing it. I mean, what other portable heat pump will get 12 to 70 plus hours of runtime off a battery? CYBERTAKE did send this out to me to test and show you guys. That's all I did. I get to do and say whatever I would like to with this. And spoiler alert, this thing's pretty sweet. We got two packages with this CYBERTAKE portable air conditioner heat pump. Let's start with this. Inside that, we have this box here labeled remote control. And here it is. It takes two AAA batteries that were not included. Next, we got some cool bags. Then inside the main box here, looks like we got some documentation. And I got this here that says accessory box. And inside the accessory box, we've got two different sizes of ventilation tube. We've got a drain hose and an AC cord. And this appears to be some kind of bracket unit that those tubes hook up to. And another one. Now that's what I call a power brick. Wow. 552 watt power supply. It's not too heavy actually. Love the handle up here on the top. Super nice. And I really like this. This is a cool adjustable large vent. You get a light here. See how wide open and huge that is? Some very minimal restrictions, which is very good. Both intakes on the front and the back have a little mesh filter. And then you can see here, down here, these orange things apparently open up the drain ports for the condensation. So one of the things I love about this CYBERTAKE heat pump is how you can literally carry everything with you. Pick up the whole thing and take it with me in one compact unit. So in this left side pocket here, I've got the giant power brick, and then I've got the AC adapter for it, as well as the condensate hose. On the right side pocket here, I've got the two plastic venting pieces. That's all I've got in there. There's a little zipper compartment here in the top, and I've just put the documentation and the little remote controller up here. And then you can see the main unit sits right here. So quick heat performance test. CYBERTAKE specifically said that they are not marketing this as a powerful heat pump. It does work as a heat pump, but they said their primary goal is to have this be an air conditioner. But let me show you. If you have a semi-cool day, not bitter cold, we're not talking, sub-freezing or anything. In fact, I've got a thermocouple here, and you can see we're in the high 40s. 49.8 degrees, and that's being measured right here at the air intake of the CYBERTAKE unit. So there's a chill in the air. You want to get a little warm air just to kind of get you going. So I'll just stick the thermocouple into the airstream right there. And it seems to have settled in at 109, 110 degrees, 43 degrees Celsius. So that's certainly refreshingly warm. This would not heat a very large space. And it especially would not work good in lower temperatures than, low 50s, high 40s. If you're going to be in extreme, cold, sub-freezing temperatures, propane or diesel heater is your answer. Welcome to the minivan. It's a fairly mild day outside today, but we've got tons and tons of sun. I figured it'd be interesting to test the performance of this portable air conditioner heat pump unit in a vehicle setting, which a lot of you would probably be using it in. Incidentally, it fits beautifully between the two front seats. It was made for this car. So I got this thermocouple here. I'm just kind of holding it at, the height of my face. And you can see in the car right now, we're running about 84 degrees. And that's in this first row of seats. And coming back to the very back here, kind of by the rear hatch, if I kind of hold this, up kind of at face level, we're at 84, 85 degrees. Take note that I am venting both hoses outside. So go ahead and turn this on. We're going to be in cool mode, max fan speed, lowest temperature. I'm going to go ahead and start a stopwatch, and then we can just kind of see what kind of time it takes to make any kind of difference in the temperature in this vehicle. All right, 5 minutes in, again with the thermocouple kind of at eye level. Check that out, about 75 degrees. It's like a 9-degree temperature drop in like 5 minutes. So we're further away from this, but we're more in the direct path of the air, and check that out, 64 degrees. So that's a 20-degree temperature drop back here in the back. Something I totally love about this unit that I think makes it even better than the EcoFlow Wave, and I did a similar test with the Wave in this car, but this has a much stronger stream of air that's discharging from the unit, and so I can feel a very strong breeze even all the way back here in the back. And just that air circulation that this is triggering mixed with the refrigerated air from the air conditioner makes the air feel much, much cooler. So that's a huge plus for this unit, is how powerful its stream of air is. So 10 minutes in here, and in the middle seat here where the air is kind of shooting past us, head level 73, 74, so continuing to drop, but not quite as dramatically as, the first 5 minutes. So out here we're venting, measuring from the air intake right here. Don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's like 64 degrees, 65 degree air intake. So very mild. If you were actually car camping today, you'd just open the windows for sure. But unfortunately, this is the warmest day I've got in weeks, so we're using it. Discharge air temperature, that's coming out at like 106 degrees. Okay, 20 minutes in here, and I think we've kind of reached the point of diminishing returns. We're still hovering right around, 74. And back in the back here, we're still, right around the 64 degree range as well. So that means we've reached the point where this can no longer extract heat faster than it's, coming in to the space. And so now to get a lower temperature, we need to start doing things like blocking all the windows off so that the solar gain isn't a factor. We need to insulate the hoses so we're not getting a bunch of radiant heat back into the space as that hot air travels out. But even on a super, super hot day, if you directed this stream of air in your general area where you're going to be, it's going to keep you very comfortable and very cool feeling, because it pumps out a ton of cold air at a very high velocity. And so as it collides with other air molecules on the way, it, stirs those up. And so it makes the air circulate really, really well. Much better than any other portable unit I've tested, namely the EcoFlow Wave 2, that is. I have not tested the Wave 3, which I understand is more powerful with its air stream, much like this one. Let me show you two more epic things about this. So let's get this fired up using this remote. We'll just press and hold the on switch. You can hear the beep, and we're in, it's a little hard to see, but we're in max mode. There's a little snowflake right up here, so cooling full speed, as low of a temperature as we can go. The air temperature we're sucking into the return air is 79, almost 80 degrees now. And the sun is very bright, but you might be able to see my thermocouple right there. FYI, the screen on your remote does turn off, but you can wake it with any light press of any button. This is a really nice touch. By the way, I really like this remote. I think I'd prefer the remote over an app, personally, just because, you could have this mounted in a console, in a van. It's also magnetic on the back. You can see that symbol right there. All right, it's been running for just over 5 minutes now. Our air intake is around 76, 75, vacillating a little because I'm getting some, air movement here in the front. But around 75 degrees. So now let's go ahead and put this thermocouple in the supply of the air coming out of this unit. So it looks like we've settled in at about 50 degrees on the dot. So let's just do a little math. 75 minus 50 gives us a 25 degree temperature split. And usually in the world of air conditioning, a 20-ish degree temperature split is really, really good. I only have a cord that'll go to my 48 volt battery. This has a XT60i connector on the end. So I need to get from XT60i to XT90. And I've got this nice little adapter right here. And there you can see it all plugged in. So we'll just go ahead and plug this power cable in. So with the powered up here off the 48 volt battery, let's go ahead and turn it on. Looks like it's gonna work. So while we're waiting for this to warm up, let me tell you why I think a golf cart battery is the winner to power this. Of course, you can use a server rack battery. I mean, heck, you can use one of these giant, Powerwall batteries if you want. But if you're going to be taking this on the go, say your rooftop tent for your overlanding rig, a golf cart battery could make a lot of sense for a couple of reasons. One, it's very rugged and robust. One of the bigger considerations is the fact that most of them are water resistant and or waterproof. Golf cart batteries have incredible capacity. 100 amp hours at 51.2 volts. That is over 5 kilowatt hours of battery capacity. And then probably the biggest reason to consider a golf cart battery is the fact that they come with, or at least most of them do, a really nice charger. And so you have a way to recharge the battery. But let's say you want to charge with solar. There are other brands of portable heat pumps like this that try to provide, a direct solar input or whatever. The problem is that rarely are those inputs sufficient to power the unit at full speed, plus add charge to the battery. Well, with this is a non-issue because you can get a huge external MPPT solar charge controller like this. This just attaches to the terminals of the battery, and then you just plug your MC4 connectors into your solar panels. And now this will dump in 40 amps at 51.2 volts of solar power. If you can get that many solar panels hooked up, that's over 2,000 watts of solar power. Let's just cut that in half. Let's say 20 amps. Well, as we saw, the worst case scenario is this unit is going to pull around 9 amps. Let's round that up to 10 amps. Well, if you're dumping in 20 amps of solar, that's going to be 10 amps going to power your heat pump, and then the other 10 amps can go into the battery to recharge it in anticipation of nighttime. So you have a much more robust power system being able to run directly off a 48 volt battery with this unit right here. Okay, so I think we're fully up to speed on this unit. I'm getting really nice warm air here. And if we come over here and look at this battery monitor, you'll see that we're pulling about 9.2 amps, 9.3 from this 48 volt battery. Yeah, that's heat mode, max power, turned up as high as the temperature will go. So currently my golf cart battery is not fully charged, 83%. But if you check down here, it's estimating around 9 hours of runtime. So this is fully charged, going full steam, max possible output for this unit. You're going to get 10 plus hours of nonstop runtime off this battery. That's insane. And that's like the worst case scenario. So let's turn this to eco mode. And you can see our current draw from the battery has dropped now down to like 7.7-ish amps. So now with 83% remaining, we're 10 plus hours. And obviously if you were starting at a 100% state of charge, you'd be easy over 12 hours of runtime. So I'm pretty sure heat mode is going to be the mode that pulls the most power. That's why I've been doing the tests on heat mode here. Let's go ahead though and switch this over to air conditioning mode. Cool mode, max 60 degree, max airflow. And much as I anticipated, the power consumption is much lower in air conditioning. Now it's pretty mild in here today, so if it was a little hotter, I would anticipate it consuming a little more. But you can see right now we're only pulling 4.6 amps, 4.7. With 82% of our battery remaining, we've got over 17 hours of runtime. It just jumped up to 19. Let's go ahead and just put this in eco mode for fun. We're pulling 1.1 amps at the moment in cooling mode. I was like on the cusp of not even registering on this. Once you go below 1 amp, it just says it's in standby mode. So 1 amp, 1.1 amps, 77 hours of runtime. Again, it's very mild out here, so if it was hotter, we'd see an increase, I'm sure, in that. But the point is, in cooling mode, where this is even more efficient than in heating mode, you're going to get insane runtimes off a 48 volt battery like this. And 48 volt batteries come in different sizes. This is a very common size, but it's pretty big. This is a little hard to see because I've actually got it strapped to my bike and powering my e-bike. But this is a 30 amp hour 48 volt battery. But hang on, I got something even more crazy to show you. Here's another option. If you have an EcoFlow power station, but you don't already own the EcoFlow Wave and want to potentially utilize this CYBERTAKE unit, there is a way that you can run directly off DC since these smaller units have a 48 volt battery inside of them. You can see I'm actually tapped into the extra battery port here on the side, and then it's coming over here and feeding this heat pump. I'll leave a link down in the description to the video where I go in depth on how this hack works and how to make it work with your EcoFlow power station. The downfall to this is there is no internal communication, so the power station had no clue that power is coming out of it, and so you do not get any kind of read on the watts out. Something that's very common and something I would love to see CYBERTAKE help us out with is to go ahead and give us, collapsing tubes like this, but I would love to see the tube actually insulated, because I can touch this with my hand and it is very warm to the touch. So there's a lot of radiant heat escaping this tube as the air is traveling through it to its point of exit. Same thing would happen with this. If I was sucking in 95-degree air, I'd get, radiant heat of 95 degrees. This one would be worse. So it would be awesome if maybe we could get like 2 levels of insulation, maybe included with the kit on this. CYBERTAKE could give us an insulated hose, so just maybe have like a foil reflective coating on the inside, and that would just come with the unit. And then you could get an accessory as kind of a level 2 thing where you could actually get a sleeve, an insulated sleeve that you could put over your hose and insulate it all the more. That would be really nice. In addition to the insulated hoses, one more thing I would love to see, but I don't necessarily want this to come at the cost of, weight or size, but if there would be a way that I could plug just a standard AC wall cable into this and lose the giant brick, but still have the XT90 port that would allow me to connect directly to 48-volt sources, that would be awesome. Going back to the remote for just a second, I absolutely love that everything that you can control on the unit itself is controllable from the remote right here. And I love that everything you can see on this unit's display, you can see here on the remote. One thing to be aware of with these hoses, once you extend them, they can be a little bit of a pain to push back into their collapsed position. And I don't know how long the hose will last, because I don't know, can you see that stress point right there? There's another one there, another one here. Anyway, it gets stressed heavily really easily as you're, scrunching it back together. Be careful with it, and CYBERTAKE, if we could potentially work on higher quality, easier to collapse hoses with maybe some foil insulation on the inside, that would make me very, very happy. So this unit from CYBERTAKE, I think, is actually gonna take the crown as my favorite go-to portable air conditioner. I have the EcoFlow Wave, which has been great, but this solves a lot of problems, and I think this does just as good a job, if not actually better, at making me feel cool because of how it's engineered and its powerful air output. And it's in a slightly smaller package. I can hook it up to my 48-volt batteries. I've got an Epic carrying case that holds everything, so I can just literally grab and go. I like that it just has a dedicated remote. Now I don't have to fuss with app control. I've got the dual hose ventilation. I'm kind of sold on it. You'll probably see it make an appearance in future videos. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'd love to hear your observations, any issues you foresee with this, why you don't think it would work for you, or why you think it would be perfect for your use case. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype, the 5 free things that really help small YouTube channels like mine. We've always got more epic and unique stuff coming your way, so stay tuned for that. Stay safe, everyone. We'll catch y'all next time.